Hi, I'm Christian Toth here with Coachstop Motorworks, and today I'm getting married in a year, so I'd like to get my '65 Mustang back on the road. It used to be my grandfather's growing up, and when I was about 15, he decided to give me the Mustang, and so when I was 15, 16 for my birthdays and Christmases and lawn mowing money, all went to parts for the car. So it was my first car. Took it off the road a few years ago because I was restoring a house and didn't have any place to keep it anymore. So came down here to Trapp, Maryland, to my grandparents' house and to be stayed and parked up in the barn. So you can see it's behind me here. I've run it every few months or so. Put stable in the gas tank, so it does run. But last time I started it, there was smoking a bit in the cabin, so I think and the radiator was empty. So I'm thinking the, what do you call it? Heater core is probably broken. And so that's one thing I'm going to have to fix. Because obviously, if we're going to be driving the car from the wedding to the reception, heat would be nice. Also, no smoke would be better. So that's one of the things, so let's go take a look at it. Alright, so as you can see, she's a little dirty. Hoping she'll clean up pretty well. As you can see, yeah, it's been here for a while. Like I said, 3 years. Couldn't tell you how old the tires are, but if we take a look around, get a better look here. So yeah, it's definitely anxious to see how she cleans up. You can see it's got a little lean here, probably because a dry rotted flat tire. Yeah. So it's not gonna be driving it home today. But my goal today is obviously to get the tire pumped up, spin the car around so that I can do my engine work and look at it in the front. What I'm planning to do is obviously change the oil. I got to be able to drive it to my parents' house where my workshop is. We got a big barn there, hence the Coachstop Motorworks. So that's where I'll be working on it. But it's, like I said, it's got to be able to drive there. So I'm going to take the wheels off, or I'm going to do, first I'm going to do the engine oil, change that. I'm going to bypass the heater core, so I won't have heat on the drive home, but it's in about an hour, so it's not a big deal. Put an extra coat on, right? So I'll, like I said, I'll change the oil, bypass the heater core, and also take the wheels off. I'm going to get them sandblasted and powder coated. Gloss black. I like the steel wheel with the hubcap look. Get a better look at it here. It's more of a preference just because this is what I grew up with, but I really like the spindle in the center. So I want to keep that classic original look. I do have some upgrades that I want to do, so we'll see. One of the main reasons I parked it is transmission needs to be rebuilt. It's a 3-speed. But I guess we can take a tour around it, take a look at it. It's very basic. I feel like it looks better in the video than it actually is. But that's my console. So it's a 3-speed on the floor. And man, it kind of stinks in here. So there's going to be a lot of cleaning out to do. I did put shoulder belts on back in about 10 years ago. Obviously, stereo is pretty important when I was 16. So we have that. I don't think it works anymore. Yeah, so a lot of updating to do. It does have power steering that my grandfather converted to, just to make it easier to drive for him when he was, I don't know, I guess about 15 years ago, before I got it. But yeah. I mean, it's not in bad shape. It's just going to be cleaned up. It's not going to be a show car, more of a driver. Yeah, so let's get to it. We'll start airing up the tires and see if we can get this thing turned around. Oh man, I'm really getting excited now. Actually getting it out of the barn. All right, so maybe you can get a better look at it here. So a couple things it does have, which are pretty cool. A sway bar suspension was put on. My grandfather had it put on actually after my accident when I was 16. So my parents took it away, and I got it back when I graduated college. So, probably not the greatest car to have when you first get your license, but I got to enjoy it a little bit before it's taken away. So, let's just take a better look around, see what we have here. I love this basic interior. It's just a single dial. So as you can see, the miles says 26,000. Guessing it might be 126,000, most likely. I don't think it'd be 220. But yeah, kind of cool. Doesn't sound too bad, but a little breadcrumb, I guess, would be that I do have some plans for it. Up the performance a little bit, as well as I'd like to get a 4-speed. Trouble is finding a 4-speed that'll match up to a 6-cylinder engine. If people wanted to go faster, they usually would just get the V8 or put the V8 in. But with the V8 conversion, I would need to change out my suspension. Apparently the fuel lines also, which is, I don't know why they would put smaller fuel lines in just for 6 cylinders, but whatever. So yeah, the easier route is to stick with the 6-cylinder. So that's all I'm going to tell you about that. Some more to come. This is it. It's probably the easiest way to learn how to work on an engine. I mean, there's so much room in here. If you look around, there's you can tell exactly where everything is. So there's my power steering pump. There's my alternator. You know, I have my exhaust manifold, and then I have my intake manifold. As you can see, it's pretty rusty. Oily. So, now back a few years ago, or about a year before I took it off the road, it's probably about 4 years ago, I put a flamethrower coil on it, as well as a pointless ignition system on my distributor. So I never have to deal with the point stuff again. It does have a brake booster, as you can see. So my grandfather put that in. But what I just actually found out from my boss, so at work, he was, over the weekend, was working on his grandfather's 65 Mustang. Had the same exact deal and wasn't getting any brake lights, which is currently what I'm having the issue now. Apparently it's an option to have the pressure switch that would mount either onto the brake booster or in my brake line circuit. And then you'd hook up your electrics to that, as opposed to the little switch that'd be a mechanical switch that's underneath on my brake pedal and the inside of the car. So I can solve that problem because I will need brake lights to drive it legally. So just want to give you a quick look around. We have here, yes, I do see the strap. That'll get replaced. But overall, I'm pretty excited. I'll do a bumper in the front and rear. But like I said, I'm not going crazy with it, just a driver. Give myself a budget around $3,000. So I figure transmission, powder coating the wheels, new tires, new hubcaps. It's peeling off a bit. Like I said, it's nice to be able to work on an American car, something that's made here. Parts will be a little cheaper than what I currently drive. So yeah, I have a knack I love to tinker with things. So let's get it turned around, and we can start changing the oil and doing that fun maintenance stuff.